We hate to admit it, but a person's zodiac sign can say a lot about them. That's not to say we're the type of people that judge others based on what sign they are, just that it's something you might want to take into consideration. So if you're taking it into consideration, which you most likely are, it's possible that it could affect your dating life and who your partner might be. The fact of the matter is, we've all dated a particular sign and either had a really positive or really negative experience. Sometimes people can come to a general consensus that some signs make worse life partners than others. We've worked hard to be sure our own personal experiences didn't make us bias on how this list turned out. The reality is that there isn't a sign that's the best, they can all be equally as bad. So look at these as the lesser of two evils. Taking into account Sun signs but also Venus signs, since Venus helps express your romantic side, this is our take on which signs make the worst and best partners. Before we get into the video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you're new. Now let's begin. Number 1, Pisces, February 19 to March 20. Our worst sign in this examination is unfortunately Pisces. There are a lot of pros and a lot of cons to being with a Pisces. Tragically, some of those cons really outweigh the pros. Their biggest flaw: Pisces lovers are overly sensitive and can take things personally. We're not saying being sensitive is a bad thing, but when they're so sensitive that they're constantly on the verge of tears, that can become rather excessive. That sensitivity can also turn into being overly nurturing. She's extremely nurturing, like, almost too much. But it's just because she wants to take care of you. So if Pisces women are overly sensitive and nurturing, what does that mean for Pisces men? Pisces men can be loyal and devoted, but they can also be pessimistic and indecisive. If you've ever dealt with an indecisive man, we're so sorry. Number 2, Virgo, August 23 to September 22. Next up are Virgos. Like Pisces, Virgos can also be overly sensitive. Not only that, but like Pisces, Virgos can also take things personally and seriously. Are you seeing a running theme here? This is 100% because Virgos and Pisces are sister signs. Sister signs are two signs that are opposite of each other, or 6 signs away. Virgos are known to be rather analytical, but sometimes it can come across as judgmental or like they're nitpicking, and we think everyone can agree that those aren't exactly qualities you want in a long-term commitment. These earth signs tend to bottle up their feelings, and they can only do that for so long before it starts bursting through the seams, and heaven forbid they ask you for help when that happens. All of these traits can be a recipe for disaster. And they definitely need a very particular person to be able to handle all those qualities. It's a good thing there's someone for everyone. Number 3, Sagittarius, November 22 to December 21. All you really need to know is that Sagittarius people are commitment phobes. Then again, this is something with which most fire signs struggle. Do you really want someone with commitment issues to be your long-term partner? Didn't think so. The whole point of having a long-term partner is just that they'll be in for the long run, someone with whom you can settle down. It's the most important part, right? Their issues with commitment might come from the fact that they get bored pretty easily, which means they can get bored of you. They love new experiences and having fun, and most times they don't think they can have those things if they're committed to one person. To put their personalities into perspective, you should know that Miley Cyrus is a Sagittarius. Her song "Can't Be Tamed" should be the Sagittarius national anthem. Number 4, Cancer, June 21 to July 22. We have 2 words to explain Cancer's mood swings. If someone else won't say it, we will. It's hard to be involved with someone who is upset all the time, the energy out of the room. Unfortunately, this isn't Cancer's worst trait. If you thought Taurus signs were stubborn, look no further than Cancer's. They're this is a hill I'm willing to die on type, even if they're wrong. They, therefore, relate to the Virgo motto, I'm always right and you're wrong. Did we mention that they're clingy? Because they are. It's the kind of clinginess that requires constant reassurance, and no one has time for that. We love some affection but not at the expense of feeling suffocated. This may even manifest as a Cancer making you think that you are the clingy one in the relationship, which can feel distorted and jarring for the other person. Number 5, Taurus, April 20 to May 20. Speaking of stubborn signs, Taurus signs are notorious for their stubbornness. This is probably why they always need to emotionally recharge, as being stubborn can really take it out of you. This is one of those signs that differ between gender. It appears to us that Taurus women are more tolerable than Taurus men, but this can naturally depend on the person. Taurus men are known for being jealous and possessive, something that most people try to avoid. No one wants to feel like they can't do or see anyone without their partner getting suspicious. That, of course, is suffocating. Taurus women, on the other hand, are like most earth signs, practical and analytical. Long-term commitments are a big deal, so they're not just going to jump into something without thinking it out. In other words, if a Taurus woman gives you any of her time, you should feel really special. Number 6, Scorpio, October 23 to November 21. Now, this is the second time we've had sister signs back to back. Taurus and Scorpio are sister signs, so they may have a few similar traits here and there. A major selling point for Scorpios, sex. Scorpios are known as the sex sign, and are all about passion and intimacy. We're not saying sex and intimacy are everything, but they definitely play a role in long-term commitments. If that spark isn't there, it's not exactly something you can teach, so if you're about physical touch, then a Scorpio might be for you. They do have their downfalls, one of them being jealousy. You see, Scorpios have a hard time trusting their partners, which means they can be paranoid, which leads to them becoming jealous easily. We hate to break it to you, but there's no amount of sex that can aid a jealous relationship into being sustainable. If there's no trust, what's the point? Number 7, Gemini, May 21 to June 20. When you think of a sign that gets a bad rap, you're bound to think of Gemini. You probably thought they'd be lower on the list, didn't you? The main reason is you know what you're getting with a Gemini. Like, you can't have ulterior motives if everyone knows how you act. While Geminis sometimes deserve the bad rap they get, they aren't as bad as some others on this list. We all know that Geminis are known for being two-faced, but they can use that power for both good and evil. For example, stirring the pot because they're bored and need something to do probably doesn't fall on the good side of things. Being able to have a lot of flexibility and have several different interests, that's not all that bad. We suppose that's why a lot of people can find them to be hot and cold. Number 8, Libra, September 23 to October 22. Libras are pretty mid-tier when it comes to relationships. They aren't the worst of the worst. The fatal flaw of Libras is that they have a hard time committing in general. Being a sign ruled by Venus, Libras are almost addicted to romance and tend to talk to several people at once. On the flip side, when they do decide to commit, they commit fully. Equality is important to them, which you could have guessed by the fact that their symbol is a scale. Whether it's in the bedroom, aka equal pleasure, and who doesn't want that, or just in day-to-day life, Libras will never have a one-sided relationship. If it starts getting to be one-sided, Libras have a tendency to stay in that relationship, even if they know it isn't working. Trust us, we don't get it either. On the one hand, you'll get undying loyalty, but it may go too far. Number 9, Aquarius, January 20 to February 18. Aquarians aren't big on super romantic gestures, but maybe that works for you. Who are we to judge? Don't expect to be swept off your feet if you're dating a water bearer. What they lack in romance, they make up with physical touch. In fact, when an Aquarius warms up to you, you'll notice that their love language is dominated by physical touch. So, if being smothered in hugs and kisses sounds vomit-inducing for you, then you might want to steer clear of an Aquarius partner. On the bright side, they're known for being monogamous. It's really important for Aquarians to be seen, so that may be harder in something like a multiple partner relationship. When most people think of long-term partners, they tend to think of monogamy. So they've got that going for them. Number 10, Aries, March 21 to April 19. It's pretty obvious that most people have a love-hate relationship with fire signs. Unless you are one, then you just love yourself a disgusting amount. Confidence is never a bad thing, but when it turns into narcissism, that's a whole other monster. Let us paint you a picture. You meet an Aries and you think you found your perfect person, and who knows, maybe you have, but one day it all goes down the drain because you slowly begin to realize that they're overly competitive, conceited, and have a bit of a temper. Luckily, they find a way to redeem themselves because they're also passionate and extremely outgoing, and rumor has it that they're really good in the bedroom. We wouldn't be quick to toss that Aries aside. It's just a matter of weighing the pros and cons and knowing what you want in a relationship. Number 11, Leo, July 23 to August 22. Leos seem to be the least self-absorbed out of all the fire signs, in our opinion. Cue the Real Housewives meme. Their biggest selling point as a partner is that they're incredibly loyal. They're the type to hype up their partner every chance they get or talk about their relationship to anyone with ears. Once you're theirs, it's a wrap. Then again, Leos also have a tendency to be overdramatic, but who doesn't love a little drama? If you say you don't, you're lying, because drama is low-key everyone's guilty pleasure. Leos also love romance and being showered with affection. Essentially, they love attention, so if you don't have the time or energy to make them the center of your world, you should swipe left and keep it moving. But if you're in love with love and want to be on top of each other 24/7, both physically and emotionally, then we say you should go for it. Number 12, Capricorn, December 22 to January 19. If you're looking for someone to spend the rest of your life with, you might be looking for Capricorn. Capricorns take commitment so seriously. When they choose to be with someone, it means that they are all in and will do whatever it takes to make the relationship work. Call us wild, but isn't that the energy most people are hoping for when trying to find someone with whom to build a life? Granted, Capricorns are known to get really serious really fast, but if you know what you want, that doesn't seem like such a bad thing. Capricorns tend to get a lot of flack for coming off as cold or emotionally reserved, but when they've found the right person, they have no problem being vulnerable. It's that nice, but only to you, trope that you see in a lot of fan fiction or teen romance movies. All in all, Capricorns are the ideal type to settle down with so long as you're ready for that level of commitment.